Welcome back to the Cheer Athlete. Today, we're going to talk about stress management, especially in this busy time between Thanksgiving and New Year's. If you don't know me, I'm Laura Turner. I'm the Cheer PT, and I help cheerleaders improve their performance, reduce their injuries, and all of that fun stuff to keep them healthy and happy as they go through their cheer career and potentially longer, like me. Uh, so it's this week I am feeling the stress. I don't know if it's just me, but for whatever reason, the holiday time frame just seems so chaotic. And uh, I've really kind of started reflecting because I feel this angst inside me. And it's bringing me back to when I was actually in college and when I was cheering and struggling in school, trying to keep it all together, making sure that I was kept up to date with my grades, trying to get to practice, trying to improve my performance and, like get a harder skill. We always were working on well, my most favorite thing that I was able to eventually learn and do solidly. And I like, let's do a torch flip. And, those of you that are cheering now, I know will think, well, that's it. But it was so cool at that time because it was a really hard stunt to get. So my partner and I would schedule extra time to get together and practice when we could, and we finally hit it. So I wanted to keep progressing and doing that, but I was struggling in school. I was out partying a lot. I wasn't in the library studying. I wasn't keeping up with my coursework that I needed to. I was putting cheerleading before my schoolwork, and I struggled. And it was my Midler year. So at Northeastern, we had 5 years. So Midler year was a third year. And I failed anatomy and physiology, gross anatomy and gross physiology, and had to retake them. And so I had to take a year off from school. That cost more money. My parents weren't happy with me. I was in a position because I kind of structured it as co-op that I could still cheer. So I didn't lose out on that, but it was stressful. I just remember that angst and that awful feeling of like, how am I ever going to be able to catch up and do this? Am I really ever going to be able to graduate? Am I going to be able to stay on the team? Because that to me at that time was the most important thing. Tryouts came, and uh, like at that point I was pretty steady in making the team because I kept putting the work in, but I was always worried, like, am I actually going to make the basketball team? Am I going to make it for football? Am I going to make We started competing. It would have been my, well, we'll just say it was my second to last year of cheering. So we started competing, and I really wanted to make that competition team. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. And then that angst of like, I got to be at practice on time. I've got to, I got to be there with my team. I've got to be present. I've got to not have a freaking attitude. And it all adds up. And I've learned a few things since then that I wish I could go back and change, because I would have had a much better time. I would have been much nicer to my teammates and not quite as bitchy, excuse my language, when I was, showing up at practice over Christmas break when we were getting ready. We competed at that time in January. So getting ready to go to competition, um, you know, and I would have been a much nicer person had I actually done these 5 tips. So I'm going to give you 5 tips today on how to manage your stress. Some of them may work for you, some of them may not. That they'll vary time to time on when you can do them. But the more you start practicing, I think the better they get, and the easier they get. And I found this over the years. So let's jump right in. Tip number 1: learn how to breathe. Take a breath out. I talk a lot about breathing in my physical therapy practice. I teach people how to breathe appropriately. Use their diaphragm to breathe. Use their diaphragm for core stability. But what I really focus on for this stress management is we tend to get anxious. We hold our breath a lot. We don't exhale, and it just builds and builds and builds. And then it just but creates more anxiety in our body. The more we can learn to exhale and kind of just take a moment, sigh sometimes, it can decrease your stress level in your body, decreases the stress hormone called cortisol, and allows your body to relax so that you can focus on the actual important things like getting your schoolwork done or showing up at practice or not being so angry at your parents or your kids or your coaches. So learn how to breathe. It's the easiest thing is just take that sigh once in a while. Remember to just breathe out. That's why at the end of my podcast I always say, when in doubt, breathe it out, because that's the most important thing. We hold our breath and we just hold all that tension in. So learn how to exhale. If you want to learn more about what breathing exercises will actually help to how breathing exercise will actually help to strengthen your core, just send me a message, because I that's what I talk about a lot. But for this stress management, learn to breathe out. If you can take some time and meditate with that, great. It doesn't have to be a full meditation. You sit in the car while you're going to practice and just take an exhale. It can do a world of good. My second tip is write your schedule. Write down everything. I have a lot of stuff going on right now, and I'm forgetting to schedule things in and put them on all my calendars and have it there. Maybe you need an old school book calendar or a journal to just keep track and like look at the big picture. Because like for me, I have a work calendar, I have a podcast calendar, and I have a life calendar. And sometimes they don't all jive and get into the same calendar. And really, we need to have them in one place, because how are we supposed to keep track of everything if we don't have it scheduled? If you're an athlete, see if you can get your schedule for school ahead of time. Like, is your midterm coming up? Is your final coming up? Know those things at the beginning of the semester, and then you can work towards those through the semester. Know when your big practices are, when your soap cases are, when your other competitions are. Yes, sometimes dates might change or practices might change, but at least if you have the big picture, it will allow you to focus on the task at hand and not stress about, oh my God, my big project's due and I've got practice tonight and don't have time to get that in. The more you can schedule things in, the easier that stress management will be. Exercise. I'm running around today, haven't got my exercise in. I'm going to make it a priority today to at least get 10 minutes of exercise. Now, is it going to be the best? No, but I'm going to get my heart rate up a little bit. I'm going to do some mobility work, and I'm going to do a little bit of strength. It's going to be combined, and it's going to get my heart rate up. Exercise, when you can get your heart rate up and get your blood pumping, it actually releases endorphins and helps your body to manage stress easier and better. It seems kind of like we are active as cheerleaders. We're on the go. But sometimes it's like hardcore, intense exercise, and it's not necessarily blood flow pumping, good, relaxing exercise. Sometimes you need to do the relaxation exercise and you need to chill out. You need to do some yoga or some Pilates and just let things kind of chill. Pilates is hard work. It's not necessarily chill, but it's not as heart pumping necessarily as a high intensity workout. But sometimes you need to if you don't have that time, get your heart rate up. Just 10 minutes can change your physical state and change your mentality to help you get through the day. And it can do your body a world of good. My kettlebells are waiting for me today because I got to get some swings in and get some good mobility in. So if you haven't seen my kettlebell workouts, go check them out on social media. LT the Cheer PT or the Cheer PT on Instagram and TikTok, and on here on YouTube, any place you can find me. Just search for them, and you'll get some quick kettlebell workouts in as well. Ask for help. I'm not very good at asking for help. I like to do things on my own. I like to be able to in control. I like to manage everything, and I like to make sure that I know exactly what's going on. But sometimes we just need to ask for help. We need to talk with our family members, talk with our teammates, talk with your coaches, talk with your team. If you're a coach listening to this, talk with your teammates. Hey, it's a really crazy week this week. Can you help me? Maybe it's a matter of like, hey, I just need you to come here and like give someone an encouraging pat on the back. I just need you to know that we're going to get to where you want to get to, but this week, help me out and know that we're going to regress it a little bit so that everything stays safe and that we're not pushing too much. Hey, it's showcase. I need some help carrying something in. Can you do that for me? Ask for help around your house. Kids, ask your parents, do they need help? Because decorating for me for Christmas, it's a lot of work. And if I don't ask for help in setting up my tree or bringing all my bins up, it's all on me. And you know what? You can only do so much. So ask for help. If you're in school and struggling, something I never did was go to my teachers and say, hey, can you help me? I don't understand this. I'm having trouble memorizing this. Asking for help would have helped me get out of school a lot faster than it did. Maybe I wouldn't be the person I am today because I learned a lot along the way. But if I had asked for help, it definitely would have helped me progress a lot more and be better at that time. And then the last one, it's okay to say no. Sometimes you just can't do it all. Sometimes you have to, Snooka just joined me here. Sometimes you have to say no to the chaos. Sometimes people are going to just keep asking you to do things. Maybe you can't go out with your friends after practice or after a game. Maybe you can't go out with your friend or, maybe you can't go Christmas shopping. You have to do it online. Maybe you have to say no to whatever it is. Maybe sometimes you have to say no to that extra workout because you just can't do it. And it's going to be better for you if you just stop and take a breath and don't have to rush around. Sometimes maybe you have to say no to the sugar that is plentiful this time of year because sugar also increases your stress hormones, but sometimes those cookies are also good. So sometimes you have to say yes also. I wish I knew then what I know now. That holding a cat, this is Snooka Bear, will really calm you down sometimes. And even though it makes your podcast a little chaotic when they jump right in, it also brings you a little laughter, and laughter is usually the best medicine. I wish I knew that I needed to exhale more. I wish I knew I had to take some time and schedule things and talk to my teammates. I wish I knew that I should say no, back when I was a cheerleader, because it would have helped me be a better student and a better athlete at the same time. Today, I'm trying to take my own advice. It's hard. It's not, those stresses of being an athlete, they don't go away. They change. Instead of worrying about, are you going to get your grades in? Are you going to get to practice? Are you going to get your stunts? Are you going to progress your tumbling? You worry about, am I going to make it to work on time? Am I going to forget something that is really important? You may have your parents that you have to work with, or your kids that you have to take care of. And there's a lot of stressors in life. The world right now is very stressful. Finding moments is really important to manage that stress because it's better for your heart. It's better for your head. It's going to make you a better person in general. And 100%, it will make you a better cheer athlete if you are calm, if you are present, and if you are aware of your surroundings and how the stress is building on your shoulders. Sometimes you need to let it go and just go and enjoy the practice. It's very hard to do that. But when we can do that, we feel a lot better and life flows a lot better. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned over the years. And what I preach in my business, Move Better. I like I said, I teach breathing a lot. I teach mobility. I teach about exercise, but learning how to manage that all goes into managing how our bodies feel and move. And so take that with a grain of salt, but I hope that that's helpful for you. I will be at the East Celebrity Elite ECE Showcase in Providence on December 9th. Nope, 10th. And I'm going to have a table there. I will have my cheer athlete poster up, I hope. um, and I'm looking forward to it. I have not been to an all-star showcase before, so I'm really excited to see what that's all about. Looking forward to meeting some athletes and seeing some performances, as well as meeting anybody that happens to show up. So if you're there, come and say hi. I will have some swag to give you, and I just look forward to meeting you and enjoying the day. So I'm really excited. I love ECE, and it's a local gym near me, so it's very cool to be able to get there and be there in person. If you've found some value in this, please share it, subscribe. Let's get the message out there that we want to keep cheer athletes healthy and happy, and moving well, and reducing injuries, and continuing to progress. Have a great day. Don't forget, when in doubt, breathe out. Most important tip of the day. Take it one step at a time. And like my friend Drew Keller said, you're responsible for your own vibes. Make it a good one.